Alright guys, 3.0 is almost here, and before everything gets power crept buffed, adjusted, or flipped on its head, I wanted to break down the top 5 teams in the entire game right now. The teams that carried 2.x, the teams that actually matter in TOA and Whimpering Waste, and the teams you should have ready before the patch lands. I'm talking pure performance, ease of play, budget value, and actual fun factor, not just some spreadsheet ranking that forgets how real players actually build their accounts. So grab your snacks, lock in for a bit, and let's go through the strongest, the smoothest, and the most future-proof teams heading into 3.0. Before we jump in, a quick word from sponsor, Enjoy Gym. This segment is important because a lot of you ask how to save money while preparing for new banners, and Enjoy GM is honestly one of the easiest ways to top up your favorite games at a lower price. Enjoy GM is a safe and reliable top-up platform where you can recharge games like Wuthering Waves, Honkai, Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero for cheaper than the official stores. Using it is super simple. Just head to the Enjoy GM website, select your game, pick the top-up pack you want, enter your UID, choose your server, and you're done. You never need to enter your password because Enjoy GM uses secure official recharge channels. That means no account access is required. Your top-up reaches your account safely in minutes. You can check them out using the link in the description. Starting off our list at number 5 is Mono Fusion, featuring Lupa, Brant, and Chongli. This team is still ridiculously strong and still clears all content, and the funny thing is that the rotation can be as simple or as sweaty as you want. If you just rotate Lupa into Brand into Chongli and go back to Lupa, the team works. It's stable, has a lot of AoE, and brand new players can use it without any mechanical effort. But if you want to push deeper, Mono Fusion has the single highest quick swap ceiling in the game, period. Speedrunners have been doing disgusting things with this comp. 20-second clears, constant animation cancels, insane outro timing. The ceiling is high. But here's why the team sits at number 5 instead of higher. Chongli. She's simply the weakest link in the rotation. As new characters drop, especially Galbrena, it became obvious that swapping Chongli for Galbrena shoots the team's DPS way up. On top of that, mono teams are inherently expensive. You usually need multiple limited units, and if the enemy has fusion resistance, you're just cooked for that run. Overall though, the team gets strong playstyle points. It's fun, it's explosive, it's flexible, but budget-wise, yeah, it hurts. TOA score is a solid 4 out of 5. Whimpering Waste is a 4. Ease of use is a perfect 5, especially with a simple rotation. Budget is a 1.5, very painful to build. Playstyle is a 5 because this team just feels good. And that puts Mono Fusion at number 5. At number 4, we have the Chisa, Ciaconna, Cartethyia team. And yes, this is the highest damage TOA team in the game right now. If you want to absolutely delete bosses, break floors, and post wild numbers, this is the team to do it with. Cartethyia hits like a truck when her stacks are built, and with Ciaconna feeding erosion and Chisa's kit modernized for 3.0, this lineup became far smoother and stronger than the Arrow Rover version we had earlier in 2.x. But here's the catch. This team is terrible for your wallet, and it's not nearly as good in Whimpering Waste. The problem is that Cartethia's damage relies heavily on stacking erosion. In multi-wave fights, where enemies spawn for half a second and disappear, you barely have time to build stacks. And because Ciaconna's off-field contribution is slower compared to something like a Flirtalist setup, you end up with a team that's cracked in single target but noticeably weaker when you need constant multi-wave damage. This puts their TOA score at an easy 5 out of 5, no arguments. Whimpering Waste is closer to a 4. Ease of use is around 4, since Chisa and Ciaconna have slight clunk but nothing too extreme. Budget? Absolutely 1.5 out of 5. This team is stupidly expensive. Playstyle is a 3.5, not bad, smoother than the Arrow Rover version, but nowhere near as satisfying as some other teams higher on the list. Overall, an amazing team for TOA grinders, but not a universal pick. Coming into the number 3 spot is what I consider the easiest team in the entire game. Shorekeeper, Qiuyuan, and Galbrena. If you want a team that clears everything while you basically play with one hand, this is the one. Galbrena is genuinely one of the most brain-dead satisfying characters ever added to the game. Tons of CC, massive AoE, and a rotation that is literally go in, press buttons, big explosions happen. Qiuyuan adds even more CC and extremely consistent sub-DPS damage, and Shorekeeper glues the whole team together with healing, buffs, and general utility. This team's biggest strength is how incredibly forgiving it is. You can't accidentally screw the rotation. You can't mess up timings. You can't really misplay unless you stand still and get hit. That's it. The only weakness this lineup has is specifically in Whimpering Waste, where Galbrena tends to overkill waves with extremely front-loaded damage. She basically wipes a small group, then has nothing left for the next spawn until her rotation rotation resets. But honestly, even then, the damage is so high that the team still pushes through. Qiuyuan score is an easy 5, wuwa is a 4, ease of use is a hilarious 5 out of 5, budget is about a 3 because Shorekeeper carries the roster value, and playstyle is a 3.5. Simple, satisfying, extremely consistent. This is the team I recommend for newer or casual players who want guaranteed clears without high mechanical skill. Moving into the number 2 spot, we have the scaling demon herself, Phrolova, paired with Qiuyuan and Cantarella. This team became way stronger with the addition of longer TOA floors. The moment you give Phrolova more time to scale after sound stacks, her damage spikes like crazy. And with both Qiuyuan and Cantarella feeding her echo triggers, she builds stacks faster than any other comp in the game. This gives her the highest wuwa score in the entire meta, a perfect 5. The team hits like a truck, looks visually insane, and dominates long fights. But here's why it's not number 1. Cantarella and Qiuyuan are extremely niche units. They basically don't have other top-tier teams to go into. Running this lineup means you're investing in 2 characters who have limited long-term value outside this comp. And Cantarella specifically, yeah, she's awkward. Her animations are slow, her heavy attack trigger is weird, and she feels clunky if you're not used to her timing. TOA score is around 4.75. wuwa is a perfect 5, ease of use is 3.5, budget is a rough 2.5, and playstyle is about a 3 depending on how you feel about Cantarella. This is hands down the strongest Whimpering Waste team in the game, and an amazing choice if you don't mind the investment. And that brings us to number 1. And at the top of the list, the most complete team in all of 2.x, Augusta, Yuno, and Shorekeeper. This team doesn't rely on one gimmick. It doesn't rely on perfect rotation timing. It doesn't require whale pulls. It simply excels in every area. Augusta brings strong burst damage and AoE, Yuno brings healing, buffs, and incredible flexibility, and Shorekeeper ties the entire game's roster together with universal support value. What makes this team number 1 isn't just raw damage, though it does extremely well in both TOA and wuwa. The real reason is value. When you invest into this team, you're also investing in 3 units that can branch out into multiple other meta teams. Yuno alone fits into heavy attack teams, spectro teams, healing teams, and even hybrid comps. Shorekeeper is a cheat code support for half the roster. Augusta works as a main DPS or can be swapped out while the team's shell stays relevant. Essentially, building this team strengthens your entire account, not just one lineup. The scores reflect that. TOA 4.75, wuwa 4.75, ease of use 4, budget 4.5, and playstyle 3, mostly because Augusta's rotation can feel repetitive over time. But in terms of pure roster strengthening and consistent performance across all content, nothing beats this team going into 3.0. If you're preparing for the live stream on December 12th or deciding who to pull next, this list should give you a clear direction. Also, I will be uploading a tier list on who should you be pulling in 3.0. So make sure you like and subscribe to stay updated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.